Chapter 3. You will meet guides, but also enemies. Stay vigilant. As you walk your path, you will encounter teachers, masters, sacred scriptures, and words that will resonate deeply in your heart. But you will also meet those who will test you, give you false answers, and try to lead you away from your truth. Listen carefully and trust your intuition. At times you may feel tempted to blindly follow someone or something. However, do not be deceived by vague promises of happiness. No one can give you happiness, for it does not come from the outside. Happiness arises where we engage in life through the lens of wise love and immerse ourselves in action with such an inner attitude. The parable of the true and the false teacher. A young student embarked on a journey to find the true master. The first teacher he met promised him quick enlightenment for a price. The second spoke beautifully, but despised the student's questions. The third was strict and demanding, yet his words stirred something restless in the student's heart. Years later, the student understood. The first was a fraud, the second a blind guide. Only the third was a true master. For instead of feeding his ego, he taught him how to think independently. The father added, "Not everyone who speaks beautifully is a guide. Not everyone who calls themselves a master truly is one. A true teacher does not promise easy paths, but leads you toward the truth, even when it is difficult to attempt. Learn to discern." The parable of two merchants. One day, two merchants arrived in a village. The first promised that his goods were extraordinary, and anyone who bought them would be happy and fulfilled. Crowds gathered around him, lured by his shiny wares. The second merchant spoke little. Instead, he offered tools for farming and encouraged people to learn how to care for their own needs. Few listened to him, for his proposal required effort. Years later, the village that followed the first merchant fell into poverty. The village that listened to the second one flourished. The father added, "Not everyone who offers you something easy truly helps you. Not everyone who demands effort is your enemy. Recognize who merely feeds you and who teaches you to find your own nourishment." The parable of the student and the voices at the crossroads. A student walked the path toward the mountain's peak, when suddenly he heard the voices. "Turn back! This road is dangerous. This is not for you. You are not ready. There is an easier way. Come this way." Each voice sounded convincing. The student hesitated, full of doubt. Then he heard another voice, soft but clear, coming from within his heart. It urged him to trust himself and keep going. When he reached the peak, he looked back and realized that all the voices belonged to people who had never dared to embark on the journey themselves. On your path, you will meet those who try to turn your back, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of envy. Do not let others' fears become your own. Listen to the voice that beats within your heart. The parable of the lost key. A man lost the key to his house and searched for it under the street lamp. Passers-by stopped to help him. "Where did you lose it?" one of them asked. "Over there, in the dark corner," the man replied. "Then why are you searching here?" "Because it's brighter here." The people exchanged glances and left, realizing the futility of his search. Father replied, "My child, people often seek truth where it is convenient, rather than where it can truly be found. Do not fear entering the darkness within yourself. That is where the key lies." The parable of a treasure beneath one's own home. A man heard that the hidden treasure lay in a distant land. He embarked on a journey, crossing mountains, deserts, and oceans, yet he found nothing. At last, exhausted and disappointed, he returned home. While resting, he stumbled upon an old map left by his grandfather. It pointed to a spot beneath his own house. When he dug there, he discovered the treasure that had been beside him all along. The father concluded. Sometimes we search for truth in a distant lands, through gurus, books, foreign teachings, without realizing that what we seek has been with us from the very beginning. Do not underestimate the wisdom that already resides within your heart. You are never alone. The traveler is never alone. On your path, you will meet those who support you, teachers who open new doors, and guides who point the way. But you will also encounter false masters who bring confusion instead of light, and adversaries who offer deceptive answers. How can you recognize them? Not by their words, but by the fruits of their teachings. A true teacher does not enslave you, they lead you to freedom. True wisdom does not create fear, it brings peace. And true, though sometimes difficult, always lead to deeper self understanding. Listen carefully, but do not entrust your heart to anyone without discernment. Your conscience and intuition are your best compasses. Trust them, and you will never go astray.